BCN Liberation Triangle. Black Christian nationalism seeks to change society in order to accomplish the liberation of black people and realizes that we as a people are engaged in a struggle for power and for our survival. We utilize the BCN Liberation Triangle as a godly symbol to Kasanyawatu and bring black people together to create oneness and unity amongst our people, to build a nation within a nation, where we control our own institutions that governs our lives. The Liberation Triangle is a symbol of Cody, where we voluntarily tax ourselves to fund the black nation, and is the financial basis of building a nation. The Liberation Triangle is also a symbol of Kazi, which is communal work and responsibility, where we collectively work together on a common program that's designed to liberate the African diaspora from the oppression, exploitation, and brutality of our colonial oppressors. Through Kasanyawatu, Cody, and Kazi, we will once again build the kingdom of heaven on earth for our people throughout the African diaspora. As black Christian nationalists all over the world, we pledge to let the power of the Liberation Triangle work its wonders in us, to take the power of the Liberation Triangle to African people across the world. May God and the black nation be our witness that we exist to take black Christian nationalism to black people everywhere.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Are we enthusiastic or what?
Yeah, we're enthusiastic.
It's not anything going to happen.
Well,
so enthusiasm makes it happen. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about Beulah this morning, but before I do that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about why I'm so enthusiastic about it. And sometimes I'm a little bit too enthusiastic. And that can cause a problem. So, I grew up in Jamaica. At my grandmother's farm. She had 600 acres. And we just had land to give up. Yeah. And I saw how it helped the community. And I would say about half of the people in the neighborhood worked on the farm.
all right.
And they would come in and take care of the animals, the cows, the goats, the pigs. And of course, I watched them plant and reap different type of produce, including citrus, agriculture, apples, avocado, you name it, we had the potatoes. And because of that, we didn't have to go to the market very often.
All right.
And that can be reproduced today because it's the basis of survival.
That's right.
We only went to the market to buy things like maybe flour, rice, sugar, stuff we didn't have on the farm. And even sometimes we had some sugar on the farm, so that was it. So that's what I grew up and I saw that. And it just kind of made me know that this is what we have to do to survive. My father never worked a job for anybody. First of all, my father was illiterate, based on what they call illiterate.
Right.
So he couldn't read and write the Queen's language, but he was very good at numbers, and he knew how to farm. And he produced for us every day. He died at 98 years old, never had a job in his life.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Good thing.
that's a good thing, So when I first came to the shrine, and I was introduced, and I heard the bishop talking about 4,000 acres of land for farm, I'm like, wow, that's a whole lot. Because I was on 600, and it seemed like a lot. I wonder what 4,000 would look like. So, of course, I decided to do some Google search. And just to see how I could compare 4,000 acres compared to the city I live in, which is Grayson, which is a small city.
Right.
Stone Mountain, which when I Googled it, Stone Mountain is only 1,038 acres. My city I live in was 1,619 acres. And there were no other cities around that had the capacity of land that Beulah had. So that alone just kind of let me like, wow, this is huge. So, I decided to go on up to Beulah land, and of course I met Uber. And he was very enthusiastic when he met me, because I guess you heard about me before I came up here. And he took me for a tour in one of the trucks we had there. And I was just totally blown away. As far as we could drive, there was land. And as far as we could see, there were trees, and I'm like, what are we going to do with this? Because, you know, we can't farm 4,000 acres unless you're going to be selling food to the whole country. So he said, listen, if you can commit to working with us, we can do some work here. And that's the first time I really hear him just open himself up and tell me if I can commit. And at that point, I knew I had to get some permission from my wife, of course. And
Well,
she told me, listen, you love farming, you love to be outdoors, your land is your thing, do what you have to do. So I'm just going to read short little thing from Isaiah 6:8. It states here, I will bring you into the land I swore to give to you, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will give it to you for a possession. I am the Lord.
Amen.
amen.
That's powerful.
Amen.
Now, what I want someone to do for me is to open up your handout and read the introduction for me. And I elaborate on that later on.
You will be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. No longer will you be called forsaken, nor your hand named desolate, but you will be called my delight is in her, and your land shall be called Beulah, for the Lord delights in you.
Amen.
There you
Amen.
go. Now, when I read that, I didn't understand it completely because this word diadem kind of threw me off. I never heard of it before, didn't know what it meant. So I looked it up, and of course, you know, Google tells you everything. It's right or wrong.
Well,
And it says, it means jeweled crown or headband worn as a symbol of sovereignty. That's powerful. That's awesome. So what we have is a jeweled crown. Now, are we going to protect that crown?
Well.
Because we have it, and the good thing is we heard last couple of weeks, it's paid for. There's no more debt on it.
yes.
And, you know, someone had said to me once that God is not making any more land.
Well.
So whatever we have today,
Gotta hold on to it.
we gotta hold on to it. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's evident over there in the Middle East, the
Yes.
Gaza Strip.
Yes.
They've been fighting for hundreds of years to maintain their presence in that
That's
land.
right. That's right.
So if they're dying for just to hold on to that land, what are we doing to keep what we have? It's been given to us.
Amen.
We paid for it.
Amen.
There's no debt, so nobody can come in and take it from us. We're going to have to do a whole lot more to make this happen.
That's right.
Now, I just want I'm going to read this. This is the second part on the handout. It says, you will, in today's world, Western civilization is deteriorating because it embraces individualism.
Right.
This is evident in the injustices of this society. The government no longer protects the poor, but abuses them even more by taking away the safety nets of welfare, Medicaid, and affirmative action.
That's right.
The federal government now gives each state block grants to take care of the poor.
My Lord.
But the states prefer to spend the funds on other matters and seek to get rid of welfare. The workforce in which companies are to hire all of those eliminated from welfare rolls will not work because they cannot absorb millions of displaced people.
Amen.
Well.
As a result, our conditions are getting worse. More homeless people, more starvation, more joblessness, more college dropouts,
Well,
and more desperation.
Amen.
Black people will migrate from state to state hoping for some kind of aid, but they will not find any. We envision the next 10 years to be crisis years for black people.
that's right.
We must figure out what to do. Our answer, Beulah land,
Well.
must come, our answer, Beulah land, must become our major undertaking to meet the crisis.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, the administration we have today is not friendly to black folks. We already know that.
That's right.
They are looking to reverse affirmative action and to even take back some of the rights we gained during the civil rights era. And they're doing that very, very well because they just put a Supreme Court judge in place who is, I don't know, he's not a good thing for us.
Right.
But,
Amen.
but for black folks, we know we'll survive. Because one thing I believe, evil never overcomes good in any way I've seen it on the world today. Every time I look around, no matter what, people who have good intentions, always win in the end. Yeah, they may seem like they're winning right now, but it's just a matter of time. Okay?
All right.
Beulah land is our holy patriarch Jerimoji Abebe Ajman's vision for us.
That's right.
He stated, I gave you a mustard seed, so that you can move mountains if you have the mind to.
Well,
Now, my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, today are, do we have the mind, do we still have the mind to move mountains? Because we have what it needs.
Yes, sir.
Do we have the mind to?
do we have the mind to?
We're going to have to get back into our back pocket, get some energy out,
That's right.
get some enthusiasm going,
That's right.
and start refocusing on Beulah land, because that's all we got.
That's right, man.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it says, on the second part of the handout, it says, what is Beulah land farm? And if someone could read that for me, I'd appreciate it.
Beulah Land Farms is 3,800 acres of farms, the ranch land located in Calhoun Falls, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And is the primary focus of its developers, the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church. The acquisition of Beulah Land makes it the largest black-owned farm in America.
Amen.
Going-
Yeah, go ahead.
Beulah Land gives us the opportunity to achieve a new level of freedom, self-reliance, financial security, and institutional power.
Well,
The aim of Beulah Land is to develop the ranching and industrial opportunities that the land affords us. The chance to distribute food, goods, and services naturally and eventually internationally to those in need.
Amen.
In terms of service economics, Beulah Land will process and distribute food at cost. Food will be made available on a cooperative basis to participating families. This system will allow members to contribute as they are able to receive as they have need.
well,
And that's what Beulah land is all about.
well,
And I said, you know, we are not going to be exclusive just for us as PAOCC members, but black people in general. Yes. If they need it, they'll have it. And it brings me back to the thought of when we used to reap the harvest back on the farm where I grew up, after it was sold to the merchants who came in and bought what they had to buy, whatever was left was given to the neighbors in the neighborhood. They didn't have to buy it. So the people who could afford it would contribute some money because, of course, everything takes money.
Right.
Farming takes money.
Yes.
So they would contribute to us, they would put some money in the fund, and of course it would go back into farming. But the ones who couldn't afford it would just come in and pick up what they need and go home. And we could do the same with Beulah land.
Yes.
Well-
We have people around there who just can't afford it.
Well-
And if we could produce enough to feed ourselves, we can give away what's left.
That's right.
Because, you know, the more you give, the more you get.
well,
It's been proven that way, you know.
Teach, brother.
If you
Teach.
give, you get.
well,
It brings me back to a story of a gentleman who was earning $31,000 a year. And at the end of the year, he was able to give away $60,000.
Wow.
And the IRS and everybody wanted to know, how could he do that? And the thing was, he believed in giving to get. He gave away so much that he got back so much he didn't know what to do with it. And we can do the same thing here in Beulah land, because in
Amen.
the shrine, we have the potential to do it. Okay, I'm going to read the article. And this is going back 1984. And it talked about, the headline was, Black Farms Vanishing at Fast Clip. And this was 30-some years ago. It states, influential black said Friday that failure rates for black farmers is 2.5 times that of white counterpart. They said that the Reagan administration is doing little to wipe out the one cause, which is the traces of racism. Do you think we still have that today?
Yes.
oh yeah,
Man, so we have a very big challenge ahead of us.
Yes.
It further states, if the decline continues at the current rate, there will be virtually no black farming by the end of the century. We are past that stage and we have our farm, right?
well,
It further states, the spokesman said, for the aid group contends that black farmers in the South, where most live, still struggle against a racist, good old boy network that controls the agricultural department. And if y'all have been keeping up with the news, you know how the black farmer has been dealt a bad hand.
Oh, yeah.
And the money that they were due, and how they were given interest rates that was higher than the white farmers. And when they couldn't pay back, they took their farms.
well, yeah,
Okay? We have to be proud of what we have, because we have ours and it's paid for.
That's
Well-
right.
Huh?
Only how it can be taken from us, then let's give it back. it can't be taken from us people unless we give it back, and that would be a sin in the sight of God.
Yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh,
We've
yeah.
been cursed. We've been worse than the children
That's
of
right.
Israel. We've been cursed.
Right.
Yes,
You're right,
We've
brother.
been cursed.
Lord. Yes, sir.
So I believe that we need to stay on top of things, do what we have to do, try to bring in some new, fresh blood in the nation,
Well,
introduce them to Beulah land,
that's right.
let them see what we have, because we can talk about how great Beulah land is, and we're going to leave it for our young kids. But if we don't do something to get them there, to see it, put their hands on it, feel
Yes,
it,
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
participate in what's going on,
Yeah.
Well,
no matter how small,
That's right.
talking is
Amen.
just going to be cheap.
That's right.
well,
We have to get them there.
Yes.
And we have a lot of young members in our church today, the young ones that go to Sunday school, they are the ones you got to get interested in.
That's
this.
right.
Because once they pass the age of 8, 9, 10, and they start doing this hip hop thing and listening to this music, they're not going to be thinking about farming, even though we know we can't live without farms.
Right.
Well.
That's right.
If anyone in here believes we can live without a farm, let me see Walmart, Kroger,
That's right.
go out of business and see what happens to us.
That's right.
Well,
well,
Now, I don't know about you all here, but I try to do what I can in my yard. And ever since I've moved to Atlanta, which is about 11 years ago, I have never bought certain foods. Potatoes I've never bought. Scallion, onions, thyme I've never bought.
mm-hmm.
Tomatoes I only buy out of season because I'm still learning how to can my foods, keep them to last over the time.
amen.
Right? We can do the same thing here.
Well.
If we have excess, we can can it, we can bottle it, and it can be used during the months when we don't have production.
Amen.
But we have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Amen.
And my vision for Beulah land is to start a small farm.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be elaborate. We can't farm 4,000 acres. That's impossible. But we can farm 1 acre, 2
Yes.
or 3 acres.
Yes.
Just to start.
Well,
And I know most of you saw the few apples we brought back from Beulah land last week or week before. What did it feel like eating a piece of pear from your land?
Right.
And it's so crunchy and so delicious. You didn't have to wash it.
Well,
When I went up to Beulah land for the service we had there was a plum tree sitting right next to the church.
yes, well,
Love plums.
It was the sweetest plum I ever
it was some
tasted.
good
It
love.
was some good plum.
I got something.
We didn't have to wash it. I picked it off as I eat it. They said, you gonna wash it? I said, wash it for what?
Right.
There's nothing on it to wash off. There's no pesticides, no chemicals, nothing to wash off. So I just ate it. The best, apple and pear I ever had. So
Well.
we have the land, so we just have to focus on it.
That's right.
Okay.
Amen, amen.
Amen.
I was told by Dr. Muga that we have in excess of 3 trillion gallons of water that flows on the Beulah land every single day
Have
into
mercy.
the Savannah River.
have mercy.
When last any of you here ever had a water bill sent to you? Isn't it astronomical what you pay for water?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, in Beulah land we ain't got to do all that. We already got water coming up from the ground for free.
That's right.
There's no water meter in any of the buildings there. Do we have water meters in the building there? Not
No
right.
water bill.
Well, no water bill.
So, I
Our
mean,
water.
what are we talking about? Free water to do whatever you want, as much as you want.
Right.
3 trillion gallons every day passing underneath us.
Yes.
My Lord, have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
And if we really get seriously innovative, we can start bottling our own water.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was mentioned to me that, they have something going on where they're trying to make contact with the FEMA administration to provide water for them in case of an emergency. And we have everything we need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what is needed on Beulah land? People.
Amen.
We need people.
Yes.
Because the land is not going to take care of itself. We already know that, right? But we need committed people.
Well,
Committed.
Yes,
Amen.
committed
Committed
people.
people.
And people
With
who are
enthusiasm.
willing- With enthusiasm. There you go, with enthusiasm.
Yes.
And we're not asking for a week of your time. We're not asking for even 3 or 4 days of your time. All we're asking for each member to give us 1 weekend of your time. And I'm having a problem with that. And the reason why I'm saying that is this. Since I've been in the member of the shrine and I've started to show the excitement and enthusiasm for Beulah land, I've had a lot of names that I got 65 to be exact. And I'm
Uh-oh.
not putting anybody on the spot.
Uh-oh.
But I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
If I have 65 names and I can get 5 people to commit, that's not good.
Oh,
I mean, I make at least 65 calls every week. There's some people who of course tell me in advance they can't go because of commitment. I understand that. We all have a life to live and we all have to live our lives. But if we say we have Beulah land and it's our shining jewel,
Amen.
and we're going to make it shine and do what it does,
Well,
we're going to have to do it.
oh yeah.
amen.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I've been also accused of trying to work by myself and doing everything, and I can't do that.
Oh yeah.
We need all the groups that's here to be involved,
That's right.
to be committed.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
we all had the fire before. When y'all was reaching and doing, fundraising and whatever was done to raise the money for Beulah land, there was fire in everybody's belly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know that because that
Oh, yeah.
would have been done unless there was fire in everybody's belly. So
You're
my
right.
thing
You're
is,
right, brother.
Long time.
You're
we
right.
have to get that fire back.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand some people have been here and they've been beat up a little bit and they've seen some negative things. I understand all that. I understand all that. But that doesn't mean the struggle stops.
Oh yeah. All right, brother. All right, brother. All right,
Back
brother.
to what we can do, because
That's right.
like Bishop always says, get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be a farmer.
That's right.
Everybody ain't going to be driving a truck. Everybody's not going to be trying to go there and hunt or kill animals.
That's right.
But if you can just come in and clean the building.
That's right.
I know I got beat up the first time I talked in front of the church about cleaning. I understand all that. And I was coming from an old archaic
Right.
belief system.
That's all right.
I understand that. That's all right. That's all right. I learned a lot. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to get back to what we know we can do.
Oh yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't take a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a few people. You know, one candle in a room
That's right.
can change that room.
That's
Right or
right.
wrong.
That's
Well-
right.
If you put 10 candles in the room, that's going to be a bright room just like it is right now.
Oh yeah.
And that's all we're asking for.
That's all.
Commitment, dedication, with the time. So let me get back to what I was talking about.
Oh, all right.
I kind of went off tangent for a little bit.
It's all good, brother.
Okay.
You good.
Oh my God, how much time I got?
I got you.
I got okay, sister. All right. So we need people, we need farming machinery, and we do have some of them there today. Some of them are broken, need to be fixed, and some, we got to discard. The buildings need maintenance.
That's right.
Every single building on the
Every
needs
building.
maintenance, right?
Every
Some of them have
building,
got
right.
brush growing around them taller than the building.
My
And,
Lord.
I mean, all we need to do is start cleaning this place up, make it look habitable all over again. The animals, they need care. And like someone said to me earlier, they took a picture of one of the animals I had put on the slide, which I'm going to show in a minute, because it looks so lethargic. It is sick. That's a sick animal.
That's right.
We are nursing it back to health. But who's going to do it?
Well,
We need you to do that. I mean,
Well-
and I'm going to be honest with you, when I first got introduced to the horses, I was scared to death because I went over to move around one of the trucks, and he had some feed on the back of the truck, and it's the whole herd came chasing at me. No, he said, I'm just telling you what happened. He was sitting in the truck, because he can't get out. I'm out there, and about 15 horses come running at me. I ran back in the truck. Because I thought they were going to attack me. So he said, no, they ain't going to bother you, just go there and feed them. I said, you can say that, you're sitting in the truck. I'm listening. Finally, I got the courage. I got the courage to go out. And I realized all the horses want was some food. It was the winter time, so they didn't have as much grass as they normally have in the summertime.
Oh
So
yeah.
I went and I fed them. And it was one of the best feelings I ever had, just to be able to put some food in my hand and these big 3,000-pound horses just eat from my hand like they did. So, even if you're not familiar with the farm, you can get familiar with the farm. And since that, I've been taking pictures and running around with the horses every day. Okay, so that's where it is. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to just go ahead and show a few slides for the people who have not been to Beulah land, have not seen the land itself. There's a few slides I'm going to show. There's a quick video I'm going to put on for like about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm going to show some pictures. Let me see if I can get this here, right? So this is a video that was taken last year of the land we have. Look how massive it is. Those are some of the cattle on the land.
Wow.
Look at that land. Just waiting for someone to come and say, hey, I got you. That's with the sign going in the main entrance, telling us that we are on the land. And these are just some roads going through. I don't know exactly the names of these roads. I'm not that familiar with them all the way through. Some more cattle. Those are horses actually.
This is drone.
I think it was a drone doing that, yeah. That's the shed that we put some of the tractors in, safekeeping. That's a tractor, one of the tractors that we use to cut the grass. Look at that expansion. Look at that land. I mean, it's just awesome. It gives you chills when you look at all that land just sitting there. And we're saying, we're sitting here going to program paying God knows what for tomatoes and things like that land.
Well.
It doesn't make any sense. I was told that we can't do commercial farming, but that's okay. We can do farming for the people here. It doesn't have to be commercial. We don't have to break any laws by farming, and giving to the entire country. Just do what we can for ourselves.
Well,
That's right.
amen.
Look at that. Look at all that land. All that's ours.
Bought and paid for.
Bought and paid for.
That's right.
No mortgage. As a matter of fact, we're having a mortgage burning ceremony next week, right?
That's right.
Today? Oh, wow. There you go. I'm talking about it. Look at all that. It's all ours. You know what some people would do to own something like this?
Exactly.
Deal.
Deal.
I'm telling you.
Deal board.
Look at all that.
That is nice.
So I'm asking just for 1 acre to start.
That's all.
No.
Just 1 acre. I mean, it's not
Acre
going to
right
take away from
there.
the other 4,000, 3,900 acres.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, can you see why it took Beulah almost half a day to ride around this whole place to show me what was going on?
Oh, yeah.
This is bigger than most cities. Look at all that water. And we have millions of gallons underneath it. That's why we have the wells on Beulah land. So we won't have to worry about water bill. Nobody have to do none of the Flint, Michigan on us, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. There's a flip, bitch.
Seriously, because they do that they have to if they can.
oh yeah, they will.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? All that is ours. So that's most of the video. I'm going to stop it because it's a little lengthy and I want to get to most of the other slides I have, so you can always see what we have on the view line. So let me go over here now.
Quick question. You said the Savannah River runs underneath?
No, the water runs underneath the land into the Savannah River.
There's a shot in here where it shows Lake Russell, which is the
Yes,
Savannah River,
Right.
which is huge once you can see it in the background.
You see the background,
I don't know if
okay.
you're gonna make it.
Yeah. So that's what we have going on, people. So we have enough to keep us busy for a long time. Okay. Now it says here, I will bring you into the land, which I already read that, so I don't have to do that over one more.
Right. Might just
Of course,
read it.
we did that, okay. That's one of the symbol for the Beulah Land farm project. And of course, for the people who have never been there, that's the entrance going into Beulah Land. Now, every time I drive up to this place and I see this, it just gives me chills. Just to see that sign and knowing that I'm going there to do something towards this.
That's right.
That's one of the lakes, that's the lake
Right.
that you were talking about a while ago. That's right. This is a map of the land that we have and all the areas in green is what we own. Now, can you imagine we develop this land and just decide to develop the waterfront alone? I mean, everybody wants to be close to water, right? Okay, now we had some fish ponds up there and we have a fishing facility. This building is a perfect building. Ladies and gentlemen, when I first went in there, tears came to my eyes. I'm like, how is it possible for a building this intact? Everything in place, nothing taken out. It's like the movie Escape from New York. They just walked away. And everything was, it was so mind-boggling to see what was in this building. That's the pond, one of the fish ponds that's on Beulah land right now. I was cutting around that the other day with one of the tractors. I almost fell in there. Scared the hell out of me, but I got out. I didn't fall in. But I was told it was only 6 feet deep. I mean, I could have walked in there, but I didn't know how deep it was. I wanted to try it, so I just backed up on that. These are some kids fishing from on the pond we have up there. Now, this is inside that building I showed you a while ago. It's called a fish processing plant. We have 3 brand new refrigerators and a freezer, right? A sink for washing and cleaning everything. Look at that. All it needs is just cleaning. Turn some power on, turn the water on, everything's good to go. A scale ready to weigh whatever we decide to sell. Right? I mean, storage areas, an ice machine sitting right there, right? And a desk, all it needs is somebody behind it. All you need is someone to sit there and say, what can I do for you?
Right. Well,
It's there.
it's there.
My Lord.
Right? Exactly. It's crazy. Okay, this is, okay, so they say we will build houses and dwell in them, and they will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. No longer will they build houses for others to inhabit, nor plant for others to eat. For as is the lifetime of a tree, so will be the days of my people.
Well,
And my chosen ones will fully enjoy the work of their hands.
Well.
They will not labor in vain or bear children doomed for disaster. They will be
My
a
Lord.
people blessed by the Lord, and their descendants with them.
Amen.
Amen.
That's us people. That's us. I mean, that's us. We can't ask anything else. Of course, this is the work we did on the pond house about a few months ago, and of course, you know, there's some brother on demand in there, and coming here next to him. And they were trying to tear out the roof because what happened is a tree had fallen on the roof and it was leaking and it started developing mold and the material was rotted and all that, so we had to tear it all out. And this is what we had to do. The flooring also was damaged and we had to work on the floor. Now, that building, if you see it, you wouldn't believe it. It's like brand new. Okay? Look at that floor. All that had to be ripped up. Insulation, everything had to be taken out. And of course, we had to put in the flooring. And yeah, that was Avery putting in the flooring. Okay? That was me also helping put some flooring in. I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned that day. So you can learn. I mean,
Yes,
so what can do? No, if you want to learn, you can go on YouTube and learn just about anything. You know, just about anything. There you go again. Work on the floor. Now, this is one of the tractors that's on the farm that we used to take the debris that was thrown out into the dumpster for disposal.
all right.
And of course, I've been committing myself to being on Beulah land, and this is me and Nantambo cutting the grass. And Nantambo is in the big tractor in front of behind him, so I took a picture of that. I figured, you know, because after you cut this grass, the view you get of the land is just phenomenal. It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Okay? And of course, that's the area going into Mughals cabin to the right of 81. Look how nice it looks. Just been cut. Of course, the horses, the ones that scare me to death. But now I'm their friend. I go in there, they just come next to me, I just pat him, and it's all fun. That's the big boy there. He's the stallion. He controls all the women up there. And those are some of the other horses we have. And now we have the log cabin, which has always been my dream. I've always wanted to live in a log cabin. I've never slept in one of them yet, but I'm hoping one day I will when it becomes vacant. This is one of our youngsters, the ones we are supposed to be leaving this land to. He was there with us painting, and he did a phenomenal job. I mean, I didn't believe he could paint. I asked him, can you paint? He said, yeah, I can paint. Not knowing his father had him doing things around the house with him all the time. He gave me a paintbrush and he impressed me.
Oh, yeah.
So he just started painting. And that's the brother learning to measure the steps, the wood for the steps that the man was putting in. The man had to do the work and tell him how big it, how long it was, how short it was. And that's what you teach them.
That's it. That's what
And we got it going. That was me, I could do some painting, which I'm not as good at, but I learned. And of course, Hunter's Lodge. This is the Hunter's Lodge where we had our first break after we were doing some work for the summer camp. We had a break over there and we were eating. Of course, everybody had a good time. That's right. Yeah, there's people there, you know most of them. And of course, that's a picture of the Wakanda land. That's what they call it. everybody did the Wakanda side. Because we can call Beulah land Wakanda as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
You know? Of course, that's another picture of the lodge. And when you decide to build a nation or this, you have to have protection. And there are a lot of wild animals in Beulah land. I'm going to tell you right now. There are wild hogs, there are wild turkey, you have boars, you have deer, which the hunters hunt a lot. So there are wild animals. As a matter of fact, the brother who's there right now told me he saw a panther the other day.
Wow.
Across the street. I don't know if that's true or not, but he said it wasn't a cat. It might be a bobcat. I don't know if it's a panther. So if we have protection for the land, animals, of course, coyotes are there also. But the dogs will chase them away because at night you hear them barking. But the coyotes and the wild hogs, they don't come close where the dogs are because they're scared. So if we're going to do that, we need dogs, and here we go. Big litter, okay? Puppies galore. And of course, that's the big boy who produces all those. Yeah, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to play this for you to see. No, this is the admin building, which I did some work on in the sense of cleaning it up because there were a lot of old machinery sitting around it and it was looking real bad. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. The grass has been cut, the trees have been taken away from around it, and all the old tractor parts have been moved to the back in the woods somewhere. So now we have a clean admin building. So all we need now is some people to go in and clean it up.
well,
There's a lot of stuff in here that needs to be thrown out. There are things that have been mildewed and dry rotting or whatever. So we just need some hands on deck. And of course, this is our bricklaying ceremony that we had when we had service there about 6-8 months ago. Yep. So that's what we have. That's one of the roads going back up to the chapel. And of course, the MAC meeting, which I'm a member of, we had our first rites of passage with some young men. And I'm going to tell you, it was one of the most impressive days I've ever had with young men because they don't know nothing. But it's our fault.
Yes.
well,
You have to teach them. So we took them there and we were teaching them how to put a hamburger on the grill. Can you imagine a young man don't know how to put a hamburger? No, seriously, it sounds funny. I brought my neighbor's son with me. He's 10 years old. He dropped 2 burgers on the ground before he hit the grill. Wow. So we had to show him how to put the spatula underneath it and hold it to a certain level, put it on there. But once it was done, it was great. We had a lot of fun doing that.
oh yeah.
And of course, we had to show them how to, cook up a hot dog and all that stuff. There you go. So that's what Beulah land is for,
Well,
well, amen.
And of course, we had a game after we finished doing all that. And then we had a lecture where we were able to talk to them and interact with them so they could give us their opinion, what they felt about being on Beulah land and, how it impacted them. And we did pretty good. I liked what I did that day. I was impressed with it. I felt great that I was able to participate. And I'm hoping that we have some future doing the same thing.
Amen.
So, like I said before, God is not making any more land for us.
You're
We
right.
have what we have. It's paid for. Let's take care of it.
That's right.
But we need enthusiastic, supportive people who can commit.
That's right.
Commit.
Amen.
Commit.
I've committed 2 days of my life to this farm.
Amen.
My wife tell me, okay, you got 2 days, but I know if I work hard, I can get 3. So that's what I have for all now. So without any further, I'll just say thank you for allowing me to share this with you. If there's any questions I can answer, I will, and if not, then that's the end of my presentation.
I have a
all
question.
right.
possible that there can be a tour, like you said, took you around to actually physically for people who are interested to see, to excite, and then I guess have you or whoever knows the land to be explaining what is going on the different parts in the very near future?
Yes,
sooner than
as a matter of
later?
fact, that's what I was talking about the other day. Because
Yes.
we have a few people who are in the history class that's not members of the shrine,
Mhm.
who we've been talking about. We
You take
introduced
the
it to
shrine
them,
members too.
and they are interested. As a matter of fact, I have 5 right now. As a matter of fact, one lady got mad at me the other day because how come you never called me? You know, but I just didn't want to just be one person there. I want to get a group
Right.
and make them have a tour. And even Ruben suggested that the other day when I went to see him in the hospital. They said, if we have young people who are not members, don't bring them there to work because they mean they want to come back. Bring them there to see what we have, and then, you know, slowly introduce them to Beulah land so they can understand what it's all about. So that we have in place. I'm working on that right now. And once I get more than 3 or 4 people, I just take them up there for a tour myself if I have to, and just show them what's going on.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.